Hey everyone, good to have you here. Happy Wednesday to everyone here. It's great to see you all here again, and we're here at Stockholm. And yes, we're going back to the airliners again. I'm trying to prepare for all the new airliners coming out in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So we're actually here at a very important airport, Arlanda Airport in Stockholm. This is the busiest airport here in Sweden. And this is one of the main hubs for Scandinavian Airlines. And it's actually one of the new handcrafted airports from the Nordics World Update 6, I believe. No, World Update 5. But it's great to have all you guys here. So it's great to be here today. So we have something for our flight plan for today. So our plan for today, I'm gonna make this extra big here for everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the plan. First we're gonna take off from runway 19 left. We're gonna go follow the departure of Nassau 5E from runway 19 left. Fly through our checkpoint here, 600 feet, then reach 1,500 feet at 205 knots, 1,500 feet at 220. Then from here, we'll reach all the way to our cruise altitude at 38,000 feet. We'll reach our first of the waypoints at Whiskey Romeo Bravo, our VOR here. Then hit another VOR at KRH, Karlsruhe VOR. Then get Pabla, Herbie, Olben, right into Bern, Nemos, and then to the VOR SPR VOR, and then reaching to the PAS VOR near Geneva. Then we're gonna reach to our, and then we're gonna go into Ballsy. We're gonna head to our approach to 13 right approach at Balsier, and then finally we're gonna make an ILS landing at Marseille Providence Airport, Lima Foxtrot Mike Lima. And that's going to be our journey for today. It's going to be 1,127 nautical miles. It's going to be a pretty long flight. It's going to be around 2.5 to 3 hours. So this should be pretty good. Hey, Ramal, good to have you here. So I'm going to look around this airport for a bit. This is a handcrafted POI airport, so I wanted to take a look at it. So there's a TUI Fly. There's the Scandinavian Airlines. This is the main hub, Arlon Airport. There's their hangar. There's the TCR. There's another one of their hangars. Here's all the different terminals, reaching to all the different where the different planes would be. All sorts of the gates. It looks really nice, and this is in a Sobo. This is a Sobo handcrafted for free, and it looks really nice. It's a really nice handcrafted airport. Very, very nice. But for today, we're gonna find our plane somewhere. Oh yeah, here's our plane. It's right here. We're taking the Air France Airbus A320, made by Airbus. This is in the Air France livery. You can get this livery on Flight Sim TO. Here it is. I think that's the wrong link, but here it is. So a bit of background about the Airbus A320. This is the newest of the long line of Airbus A320 line. This is actually the newest model of A320. It was first flown in September 25th, 2014. It was introduced in January 25th, 2016 with Lufthansa. It's based on the previous A319, A320, and A321 families. It's re-engined with a CFM LEAP 1A or a Pratt & Whitney P1000G engine. It can fit with both. It is about 15-20% more fuel efficient than the previous A320 CEO family. Currently, it's operated in its specifications. This thing can take off. Its max takeoff, it can carry 17.7 tons of payload. It can go at cruise speed at 450 knots, cruise speed, and its max is 473 knots. It can cruise up to 39,000 feet, and its typical range with the 320 Neo, it can go around 3,500 miles. Perfect for the domestic regional flights that this thing is made for. And this thing can take off at 6,400 feet too. So there are a lot of operators of the A320 families. And currently they've been ordered in quite a few airlines of the A320 Neo family. They include Indigo, Wizz Air, Frontier Airlines, Avalon, and yes, Scandinavian Airlines and Air France currently have the A320 Neos. So that is what it is. Let's get into the cockpit. Now, of course, the A320 is just the base version, so everyone in the sim can have it. So this is what the cockpit looks like. It's actually pretty familiar for me because I have the A320 stick and the throttle, so this stuff is kind of familiar. So here's the cockpit. Here's the roof stuff. And of course, it's nowhere near as deep as, let's say, the fly-by-wire is an amazing freeware stuff. But I'm just trying to get into the normal airliner stuff before I can get to the payware stuff. So, kind of it working. Let's get this thing on. Checklist. Let's go check our engine. We turn on the battery switch on. Battery switch on. Available. If it says available, we turn on. Turn on. Engine generators are fault. Okay, that means they're on. Engine bleeders on. We turn master switches on. We turn on the APU start on. On. But before we turn on external power, I'm going to go ahead and set the flight plan for today. Okay, guess it's nothing. Let's do initialization. So our flight plan, we're going to start, let me get it up. Let me get it up. ESSA. Then backspace. And then we need to do LFML. We're going to go to flight plan. Let me go ahead and set up my departure. Departure, 19 left. And we're going to go up and hit this one. And we can just insert to the flight plan. Pretty easy. Let's say everything looks good. Yeah, everything looks good. Now, next we're going to go from here. We're going to press, we're going to type in our first waypoint. Whiskey Romeo Bravo, WRB. Insert to here. I'm Yep, that sounds good. Then after WRB, we put in KRH. Insert, and I believe it is the VUR. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to go with Pabla, Pabla. Hey, Devil Dude, good to have you here. Just putting up the flight plan for today's flight into Marseille. Now, a lot of people like to go to Marseille because it is a stunning part of France. I flown into it in the sim. It's a beautiful area. And I'm in the A320 in the colors of Air France. So, Irby. Then we have Albin. And we're going to go with Nemos. And we have two. Then we have two more waypoints. First is two VOR stuff. SPR. It's going to wait. SPR. See, that look good. Okay, that looks good. And finally, PAS. PAS. PAS VOR. Insert. And then we have one more thing to do, and that is going to be our destination. So let's go to here. Arrival. We're going to do ILS Z13 right. And we're going to start here. Don't believe it's without a VIA. Rear. MTO. I think it may be worse. Just double check, making sure it's right. Thank you. Okay, that's perfect. Yep, that's it. That's our flight plan. Our flight plan looks great. That's it, guys. I think that's our flight plan. Let's see. Nice. It is. It's perfect. It matched everything. Okay, guys, that's it. We got our flight plan set up. Not too difficult, actually. Is this KLM Air France? It is just normal Air France livery. Here it is. Air France. In the beautiful Air France colors. Now I'm going to go ahead and
cockpit to ground. This is ground. Stand by.
I'm going to go ahead and going to get the pushback. We're going to get this thing pushed out of here. I know a lot of you thinking, what is Viper doing in airliners? Why is he flying so much of them now? Well, the reason is with all the airliners coming into the sim, I'm definitely waiting for the 7.3. So I'm trying to improve my airliner skills. So because I definitely like to fly more of the airliners nowadays. I used to be all GA.
Doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed. The parking brakes are set. You may lift. Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback. Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set. Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake. Parking brakes are released. Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence. It will start in the sequence.
There.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake. Parking brake set. Parking brake set.
Set the engine to start. Turn on both engines. And let's confirm them to be stabilized.
You may disconnect. Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight. Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Pretty cool. Now, after we get the engine started, we need to wait for a sec for the engine to get started. As the engine's already started, so we turn off APU bleed. APU master switch will be off. And we can just turn the engine mode selector to normal. And before we go, we're going to go ahead and turn on our taxi lights. We're going to turn on our taxis, turn on auto, beacon light on, wing light on, runway turn light on. And we're going to go ahead and park. We're going to get our way to runway we're going to head our way to runway 19 left. So we're going to power a little bit. Try not to get too much. And I guess I forgot to do how much fuel. Since we're about 1,100 miles, I'm going to go to 80% of the tank. Go 80%. Yeah, 80% tank would be pretty good for today. I don't want to fill it to full, but 80% would be enough to get through without having to worry about it. Gotta go, mate. Milviz is showing the 310 Cessna. Yeah, I saw Fabio and Murph and Two Cats with the Milviz Cessna. No worries, Rommel. Thank you for coming today. In 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and turn left on the taxiway. So let me pull up some music. You fly from there to in the Kodiak as well. So Southeast Asia server? I've always been what I've always been. Always been on East USA Double Dude. Whoa, texture. It looks like a texture break. Oh dear. Yeah, that was a texture break on the ground, guys. My apologies. That looked like that was a weird texture break on the ground. So I had to slow. Don yields 666. All right. I'm gonna turn left so we can get to runway 19 left. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, let's set the flaps. Now the auto throttle, it says here, according to my nav map, I need to be starting out at 1,500 feet, around 200 and. So let me go back. And I need to set the Mach speed to 205 and then to 210. And once we get to 210, 20, I'm going to increase my altitude to our cruise altitude at 38,000 feet. So I need to go change my throttle speed. 205. And I'm going to go ahead and increase the throttle. to Toga. We're gonna go max power. So, and I think we're about to head off. Throttle off. And I have to start climbing. Just press the air brake a little bit. Slow this thing down. So yeah, we get the sight of the beautiful Swedish landscape to our left. So there's actually another really good reason I'm doing the airliner stuff now. Is I've been thinking, when I do I'm thinking about doing the airline streets as part of something bigger. I know they're going to reveal it later today, but there is a new, virtual airline out there. As someone who's part of the Murph community, he's going to show it off today, but it's a new virtual airline called Firefly Air. And he's been and these flights are important because it's basically a virtual airline stuff. But I'm thinking that maybe one of the days, maybe I could be doing virtual airline flights to connect to wherever the streams go. Which I think would be really, really cool for someone like me. And I think doing these airliner flights, by Two-Tone Murphy. Yes. Very much so. So I'm part of the VA, so I'm thinking about doing that. I'm probably going to show it off not this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday. And maybe I'll join when I'm done. Yeah, definitely. Here's the link to join the Flying Circus. Okay. Now we cross that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead into 38. We're going to head all the way up to 38,000 feet. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to increase the speed up to 235 knots. And let's start climbing. And yes, disable the air brake. And we're going to climb pretty good. So I'm hoping you guys have had a great week so far. I've been doing quite well myself. I've just been working on the next city tour stuff. So I might be working on that along with flying here today. Which is the next city tour is in Louisville, one of my home cities. Let's get an external cam. Oh yeah, I love this livery, the Air France. Yeah, it's the Air France KLM livery. You're right. But Air France KLM are part of the same group. Really clean livery. Just stunning. So, now if you guys notice something on my camera, if you look behind my face and you see there's a poster up there, it's the Tuto Murphy Bremen poster, that I got. Now, I didn't actually buy the poster. So Murph actually gave it to me for free because I was the one who provided a lot of the notes alongside Mrs. Two-Tone. So I've been doing that, and he shipped me the Bremen poster. And it looks absolutely amazing. I love the fabric, and it just looks so good. It does, looks amazing. Okay, we're about 15,000 feet. I'm gonna go up to 260 knots. Go ahead and do that. Actually, I'm just gonna stick to. Actually, I'm gonna stick to 250. So yeah, I've been really interested in that 146, but I'm hoping it comes to Sim Market because apparently Sim Market is like around 10-15 bucks cheaper than it is on the Just Fight website. So I've been waiting to get the 146, and I'm definitely gonna have to get some help learn that thing. But I know it's probably one of the best planes in the sim. It may seem expensive, but they but people love it. Must be great to have a smaller regional jet in the sim. I know Aerosoft has had their CRJ, but I think it would be a really good fit for. Hey, Quirt! Quirt, good to have you here. I'm on the Air France KLM group, Airbus A320neo, and we're heading our way to Marseille from Stockholm. We're doing a seasonal flight, so we're following basically a real life route. We're going to be going through Sweden, bit of Denmark, then into Germany, Switzerland, and then finally in our way to France. So it's going to be quite a really nice flight. And if you guys haven't checked him out, check out Court Streams. Very chilled, very laid back. And I definitely recommend you guys check him out. He's a good friend of mine on the channel. I hope your day's going well, man. I don't have the BAE sorted out, but I would have definitely appreciated having some help. When I do get it, though. Finally put a good flight together. Nice. That's what I like to hear. So we're reaching in 24,000 feet. Yeah, I quite like that jet. It's a good plane. That, like, Just Flight did a great job on it, and they did it again. I mean, first with the arrows, and then the Hawk, and then now this. Yeah, I mean, I'm very impressed with how good Just Flight's been. Though there's also one other airliner that just came out. I know. There's another airliner that came out. They call it the Mad Dog, the MD-82. That plane's like $80 on SimMarket, and it's probably $90 on the website. I definitely think the MDA is a really cool plane in real life. Though that is just too much for the Microsoft Flight Sim, especially with the huge market. Putting $80 is going to put a disadvantage, though. But I think the Mad Dog is a really good plane. Yeah, but you need a supercomputer. Yep. But I mean, it's good that we're finally getting good airliners in the sim, though. Like, airliners was the one thing that I think the sim was kind of lacking with the third-party stuff, at least. I mean, look at the Captain Sim stuff. If you know what I'm talking about. But it's good we're finally getting more airliners. I'm hoping for the PMDG 737. I mean, a Boeing guy, I definitely would really want it. Look at those contrails. That's a really cool thing about the contrails. Ah, she sounds so good. Oh, this Friday, yes. Okay, that's gonna be for next week. Oh, that's awesome. Yes. Oh, yes, yes. I'm getting that Zen 3. Yes. Yeah, it is a nice livery. I like Air Prince's liveries. They're pretty cool. Oh, and the Trilander, yeah, we're getting to some really good planes. This month, like this past month, March and even early May, we're getting some great planes. Like I said, hey, Foxtrot, Flox, what's up? Guys, give a follow to Foxtrot, and I just noticed this the other day. I forgot to notice this. Flox is now over 300 follows on his channel. Congratulations. Flox is a great friend of the channel. He's been very close. Yeah, the Trilander would be nice. I mean, I know the Black Box Trilander has gotten some really good reception, so I'm curious to see how the Trilander does. Thanks for that. No problem. But yeah, we're flying. Flox, we're actually flying from Stockholm to Marseille in the A320neo. And I'm hoping that if it's successful, I move all my airliner stuff to virtual airlines and do some virtual airline flights with it if it goes successfully, which I think will be great. It would be great to diversify the channel a bit, and it'll be covering all sorts of stuff: airliners, I mean, my city tours for my research stuff, and then just the general bush stuff. I think it'll be great for the channel to balance it all out, and I think my channel will really benefit for it. So a bit of a background about Stockholm Airport, Arlanda. It's actually located near the town of Marseille, 37 kilometers north of Stockholm. It's the largest airport in Sweden and the third largest airport in all the Nordic countries. The only two bigger are, I think, if I believe so, it's Oslo Airport at Gardermoen, and then Copenhagen Airport in Denmark are the other two biggest airports in the Nordics. It's a major gateway to international air travel for large parts of Sweden. In 2017, 27 million passengers flew near the airport, with 21.2 million of those being international passengers. And it's actually the larger of the two Stockholm airports. It serves as the major hub for Scandinavian Airlines and the Norwegian Air Shuttle. So, and this airport was actually opened in April 1st, 1962, 60 years ago. Features 3 runways, one left, 19 right, which is the longest runway on the airport, at around 10,830 feet or 3,301 meters. Then one right, or 19 left, is and 0826 is, they're both around 2,500 meters long, made of asphalt. And this airport serves many different destinations for many different airlines. Obviously, Air France flies from here to Paris, though seasonally they fly to Marseille, which is where we're visiting today. But also, Norwegian Air Shuttle flies through a lot of the destinations. And of course, it's the major hub for Scandinavian Airlines, flying places like Berlin, Bergen, Copenhagen, Frankfurt, Geneva, Milan, Rome, and even seasonal flights like to Beirut, Dubrovnik, Naples, and more. Some pretty cool stuff about Stockholm, and it's now a POI landmark, POI handcrafted airport, and it looks really nice. It's a really nice handcrafted airport. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Just trying to give you guys some information and stuff about Stockholm International. I probably should have given it a little earlier, but I didn't work on my slides for this one. But then again, I wanted this to be a more relaxing thing. Maybe the airliner stuff I'm going to be more relaxed, and just let the instruments take care of things from here. And say bye to day one. Yeah, the Trilander would be great. Murph really likes flying that thing. Though I can never get how unusual it looks. It's an unusual looking plane, to say the least. I mean, for guys who don't see what a Trilander looks like in real life, it's a lengthened Islander, and they stick the engine on the tail, and not even the bottom part of the tail, the top part of the tail, to create but it gives it such a unique look. And yet, despite that weird configuration, they're really good for stoll capabilities too. They got great stoll capabilities. They can take off from 50 feet around nearly 2,000 feet, which isn't bad for a 3-engine plane like this. But the advantage of having those 3 engines is increased endurance, payload, extended endurance, increased payload, low noise signature, and economic operation cost. It can actually take off from a 450-meter strip, so this thing is extremely capable. It's capable, bugger, that's for sure. Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing. Today's May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, may the 4th be with you. May the 4th. Oh, that's pretty good. Mhm. I'm also with you. Now, hopefully, unlike the last stream I've had, I will not flood this landing this time. I've been doing lots of practice in the airliners to try to land. So, I've been working hard on it, so hopefully I get things properly done. Yeah, I'm going to increase it to 260 knots indicated airspeed. This is what's nice about the A320. It's a small regional airliner, but this is perfect for this sort of flight. So I came up with this flight plan originally by SimBrief. So SimBrief is a really cool website. If you haven't noticed. So you might have to have a Navigraph account, but if you have a SimBrief, if you have a Navigraph, you can link it to SimBrief, and what you can do is you can create your own flight plans, ILS flight plan. And you could set up your airline, your flight number, you could set your departure and your arrival, and it will automatically create a route for you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. What's up? Flight show. Here you go. Let me pull this up. So this is Simbird, guys. This is what I use to create a lot of the flight plans for the airline stuff. So let's create a flight. Let's do Southwest Airlines. Or actually, let's create a new airline. So let's do UPS Airlines, which is let's do a cargo flight. We need to depart from our destination. So we look towards Louisville's destinations. So KSDF, which is our local airport. So we're going to go departure, Kilo Sierra Delta Foxtrot. This is Sanford, Muhammad Ali International Airport at Sanford Field. Now I look at the real life destination. So the top cargo destination. We have all sorts to pick from: Boston, Buffalo, Chicago, Cologne. Let's do one of the more popular. There's a website called FlightAware or Flight Radar. Those two are really good websites. So let's check out FlightAware. Let's look at real life stuff. Muhammad Ali International. Departures. Okay, it looks like we're gonna find the UPS. Actually, like tracking operator UPS. Okay, let's look at origin. Let's look at Muhammad Ali International. Let's Archer. Okay. Just take me a second. Try to find a real life airport. Okay. I think I found a UPS airport. So UPS is actually heading. Let's see how pretty. Okay, this one would be pretty good. U.S. Postal Service traveling to Philadelphia International, UPS 219. Real life is traveling to Philly. So let's do KVHIL. VHL. In real life, the pilot is flying. He's actually taking off in a Boeing 767 300 model jet. So let's look. B76. .300 model, and it will give you this route. Yeah, it creates your route. And what's really cool is you could do suggested routes. So you could do this route. You could do this kind of route. But if you go here, press new, you could see routes. Some of these are real world routes they actually do here in real life. This one's for 500. So if I click, let's click this link. This will now take us 618 nautical miles. So there's actually a really cool thing as well. But you can actually do more. You can use this tool, the route finder, and you can create your own route. You can generate a custom route if you really want to. So you can create and find a route, your custom. You could do historical weather if you have active sky. There's alternate airports and custom routes. And here's what this map seems to look like for a flight between Louisville to Philadelphia. So take off here, go to RO, fly all the way here, then take then I think you start saying here, and begin your approach to Ferret, and then you finally make your approach here at Philadelphia International. Simple like that. And then, let's say if you want to generate your flight, okay? It looks good, everything works the way it should. Generate your flight plan, and it will put it into a SimBrief file to a briefing package, which looks like this. Boom. Here it is. Here's your routing, your planned flight level 35, your departure, ASDF to Philadelphia, and it's all in this document. Now, there's a page here, right here. If you don't know how to do it, how do I read this flight plan? There's a link here, and you can read all this. So, and he'll show you to help you out. Here's your maximum takeoff weight, estimated takeoff weight. Here's your landing weight, what it's supposed to be estimated. 0 fuel weight. Your departure airport name, your arrival. And you can actually display it in a different format. Different fuels, your alternate route. So there's your alternate. Your departure airport. Your planned route. So your departure, there's your planned route. Your planned arrival. And arrival runway. That sort of stuff. See? It's all here. It's got your climate information, your weather. Now, in some of the third-party add-ons, you can actually import these packages, these SimBrief stuff. You can import them into the plane. I think the 146 does that, and the freeware Fly-by-Wire A320. They both do that. So pretty cool stuff. This is a very cool link. Hey, just want a 3-month sub to Volanta and SimBrief's integrated. Awesome. That's awesome there, Molly. Oh yeah, and if you want to, and you don't have to just see it here either. You can still edit the flight. You can also see this route through SkyVector here. So you can actually see this whole thing through SkyVector. So take off here. And you can see through all the airways through SkyVector. Pretty cool stuff. So just a little run. See you, Viper. Take care, Devil Dude. Thanks so much. B has yep. Let's go back to the chat. Yeah, the BA has SimBrief integration in charts. Exactly. Which is really nice. That's really cool. And you can use the in-game planner Navgraph database too. Yeah, you can use the in-game planner as well. In the database too. Exactly. That's what's great about it. So even if you don't have Navgraph and all that on Xbox, you still have those options. Which I think is great. But yeah, it's awesome. So, let's take a look outside. Let's look outside, guys. It's starting to clear up, and we're heading to Malmo, further ahead. We should be flying over the city now. It's a bit of background about Malmo, Sweden. It is actually the 3rd largest city in the country behind Stockholm and Gothenburg, the 6th largest city in the Nordics. It's a global level city. That's a gamma level. It's home to 700,000 people in the metropolitan region, and it was one of the earliest and most industrialized towns in all Scandinavia, but struggled to adjust to post-industrial society. Malmo has undergone major transformation in agricultural, biotech, and it quickly became one of the most unique countries in all Scandinavia. It's also the fastest growing city in Sweden as well. This city's been around since the 1200s, I believe. It's at least been around the 13th century. but it was actually one of the most important trading pieces of the Hanseatic League. And it was actually one of the first cities in Scandinavia to fully convert to the Protestant Reformation. So Malmo is definitely well known for its architecture, with its oldest building being St. Peter's Church, built in the 14th century. Other sites include the beach known as Ribersburg, and it's also known for its long boardwalk known as the Scania Parken and the Dania Parken, which became a very famous hangout place for the people of Malmo. Oh yeah, one more thing about Malmo too. If you ever look at the map, you realize it's just a stone throw away from the capital largest city of Denmark, Copenhagen. So you might be able to see a little Copenhagen too. And that might be a site for a future city tour, is Copenhagen. Hey, first time chat, colorful skirt. Good to see you, colorful skier. Welcome to the chat. Good to have you here. I hope you're having a great day yourself. Sorry, I just missed that. I was busy making sure everything was going smoothly. So Foxtrot says the company he worked for was actually in Denmark. Oh, that's really cool. Denmark. Denmark also universally known for quite a few things. Mainly, Denmark's known for inventing the Lego. But Denmark's also known for quite a few other things too. Denmark is known for making Google Maps, as two Danish brothers created the company called Expedition, and they invented what would be Google Maps in 2005. Denmark's also known for the loudspeaker, which was invented back in 1915. How about the telegraphone in 1899? They also make Danes have also been known for making insulin back in 1920. And also, finally, the the dry cell battery was invented by the Danes in 1887 by Frederick Louis Wilhelm Helsen. He made dry cell batteries, which made them easier to transport, and after finding the factory, he sold to the Danish telephone company, and today Duracell owns the brand name. Sup, man? Where's the flight plan to? Well, let me tell you, our route, we're head, we just, let me show you where we're going. So, let me go ahead and pull this up. So we took off from Stockholm, 19 left. We took off from a departure, November Oscar Sierra Lima 5 Echo. We're about to head to Malmo. Flying past to Germany, from Denmark into Germany, then through Switzerland, Geneva, and then we'll be heading down to Marseille in France. And this is actually based off a real-life seasonal flight from Air France, which, let me show you the livery for this bad boy. In the stunning Air France KLM livery, it is stunning. Now, usually, I'm a GA pilot, colorful skier. I usually do GA stuff, but I know in the future I might be doing more airline stuff for a virtual airline in the future. And plus, I'm getting the PMDG 737 probably on Friday, or at least Saturday. So, I'm going to be spending plenty of time learning that 7.3. So, I think that's what I do. And then on Sundays, I do, at 1400 Zulu, I do the City Tour City series. I visit the world's different cities as well. Last Sunday was the very first ever series. I start here in Nashville, Tennessee, in the United States. This Sunday, we'll be heading to Louisville, Kentucky, one of my home cities. So that is what I do usually on my streams. Yeah, you need an Airbiz livery. Now, if you guys like what you see, don't be afraid to put out a follow. If you feel like and you like the content, don't be afraid to put out a follow. I also do have a Discord as well, the Snake Pit. And there's Malmo down below. And if you look across to your right, that is Copenhagen down over here. That's the largest city in all of Denmark. Down here. And if you want a bit of background about Copenhagen, I'm not going to go full-blown research, but Copenhagen is the capital and most populous city in Denmark. As of this year, it has a population of around 805,000 and it forms the wider urban area of Copenhagen and its metropolitan area. It was originally a Viking village from the 10th century, what is now known as the Gamel Strand, and it became the capital of Denmark in the early 15th century since. It's gone through some interesting development through the since the 18th century with the plague outbreak and a fire. It went through a lot of redevelopment, and it included the construction of the famous district of Frederiksstaden, and founded the Royal Theatre and Royal Academy of Arts. After more disasters of the 19th century, it brought a neoclassical look to Copenhagen, and then following the Second World War, they created known as the Finger Plan and developed more houses and businesses. And it's seen since the 21st century lots of urban and cultural development, mainly in institutions and infrastructure. It's home to the University of Copenhagen and all the different schools, and it's the oldest university of Denmark. Yeah, this place definitely has a whole bunch of history. And speaking of which, Carver Skier, this is actually what I do. I bring lots of research to all my streams and such. Maybe not so much today because I want this to be a relaxing flight. But that's what I like to do there for my content and streams. But yeah, it's beautiful out here today. And there is Copenhagen International down here. This is actually the international airport. This is Kastrup Airport here in Copenhagen. It's actually the second busiest airport in the Nordics. This airport was actually one of the older airports still operated in Europe, as it was founded in 1925. Mainly, it's the main hub, one of the major hubs for Scandinavian Airlines in the Norwegian Air Shuttle. In cruise, there's a lot of destinations. They even do flights. I know it's suspended, but they flew in Beijing even. They fly in Washington D.C., Zurich, Wrocław, Warsaw, Vilnius. They fly a lot of places from Copenhagen. Ah, awesome there, Carver Skier. That's great. Yeah, I do lots of these research and I'm very proud of it. So, the airline stuff basically is something more recent, but historically I've always been done a lot of GA. My previous streams, I worked on my baseball series. That was the very first ever series I've done on the channel on Sundays. Where I visit the world of Major League Baseball, visit all the ballparks. I'm into really doing that as well. Oh yes, I think we too would get to like. No, we get to like it. I think. Yeah, you're not gonna get along pretty good. We both love research. I do lots of historical research about the locations. That's what my Sea Tour series is going to be, is to explore all the different landmarks. Not just in the sim, but also in real life. That way, I think a lot of people get to learn something. And I think Flight Sim is a perfect opportunity to expand the research stuff. And I'm very proud of what I'm doing for the Flight Sim community. Very much so. So we're about 806 miles, so we have about 2 hours to get there. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the time. Our time is 7:24. Yeah, today is Mr. Bevo. Oh, there's Flux! Oh, look at him. And Flux is here. I didn't realize it. He took the 7-4. Oh, he took the 7-4. Oh, he took the 747. That's the Queen of the Skies right there. For guys who don't know, 747. That's what I took for my first airliner flight. Everything went well in that 7-4, except for landing the plane. Apparently this thing doesn't have that great ILS capabilities, but oh, the 7-4. I always have a soft spot for the 747. When I think of big jets, it's what I think of. It's the mighty 7-4. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better than the clunky looking A380. Yeah, I've had a liking to that 7.4 as well. No offense to the A380 though. A380 is huge. Like the A380 is a massive plane. But I agree. I like the 7.4. I definitely think the 7.4 definitely is the better looking than the clunky A380. Yeah, I'm much more of a Boeing guy. It's just me being Boeing being more of an American kind of thing. That was not to take away how cool Airbuses can be too. It's just that the A380 was such an uh it's just the A380 just wasn't very successful, if you know what I mean. They've had some. It's just the market didn't really favor the A380 at all, like because they moved a lot of the aircraft operations. Hey, Planet Neutral, great to have you here. I hope you're doing great, Planet Neutral. Let me give a shout out to my good friend Planet Neutral. Um, he's a good friend of mine. He's from around my area, Kentuckiana, and I think he's almost at 100 followers. So maybe if someone can actually give him that 100 follow, that would be amazing. If someone would do that. Planet Neutral's a great friend of mine in the channel, so definitely check him out. I know I've seen your last couple flights. You've been flying through the Danube, such a very important river. Oh, IMSAP! Hey, IMSAP! Good to have you here, IMSAP 004. IMSAP, good to have you here. I'm in the Airbus A320neo. We're flying from Marseille to Copenhagen. No, not Marseille. No, I'm actually flying from Stockholm to Marseille. We're following a seasonal air route in the Air France KLM livery. So we're right now near the coast of Denmark. We're heading towards we're heading to Germany, near Lubeck. And I see Flox is in this colossal 747. Oh man. Here's the funny thing. If you guys never heard, the Shadow Display team, they used to do this a long time ago, but they flew formation in 7.4s. I said to myself, just how? How do you fly them in formation 7.4s? But yeah, you really fly versus the 787s and A350s. I like the Dreamliners, though the A350 is really good too. I'm more Boeing. I prefer Boeings over Airbuses, but it's not because Airbuses are bad planes. I do think I'm more of an American, if you can understand that. Tonight on the stream, we're going to run the canal that connects the Danube to the main Rhine. Oh, that should be good. Yes. Yeah, we're heading to Marseille Provence Airport. So, if you guys don't mind about some research, so I got some research about Air France. So, Air France was established on October 7th, 1933, as the flag carrier of France. In French, Air France is French pronunciation is Société Air France. It's a subsidiary of the Air France KLM Group, which is actually a Franco-Dutch holding company, which also includes KLM. Which is the oldest operating airline on the planet. Air France serves 36 destinations in France and operates worldwide to 175 destinations in 70 countries, including 93 of them being overseas departments of France. And in 2019, they carried 46 million passengers. The global hub of Air France is obviously Charles de Gaulle Airport, which is France's largest airport and one of Europe's absolute busiest airports. It's actually Europe's second busiest after Heathrow, it turns out. It was formed as a merger between a couple of other airlines: Air Orient, Air Union, Compagnie General Aerospatiale, Compagnie Internationale de Navigation Aérienne, and Société Générale de Transport Aérien. During the Cold War, it was one of the three main Allied scheduled airlines operating in Germany at Tempelhof and Tegel airports. In 1990, it acquired the operations of the French domestic carrier Air Inter and international rival Union de Transport Aériens (UTA). Airbus currently operates a mixed fleet of both Airbus and Boeing jets, and mainly uses the Airbus A320 for the short-haul stuff. And of course, Air France also has the A380 as well. And of course, these planes definitely have a lot of destinations. There's a few hubs. Charles de Gaulle is the largest and biggest hub. The second biggest hub is actually in Orly Airport, which is actually one of the oldest. Then there's Lyon Saint-Exupéry Airport, the third biggest. Marseille, Nantes, Nice, and Toulouse are all the hubs. Some of the Air France destinations in the U.S., they actually fly to quite a few areas in the U.S., including Atlanta, Boston, Chicago. They do seasonal flights from Dallas, Denver, L.A., Miami. They even do flights from San Francisco and Seattle. Just imagine how long those flights would be. Travel from the West Coast of the U.S. to France. Pretty crazy. They fly in all sorts of European destinations: Warsaw, Berlin, Rome, Bonn, Athens, and all sorts of the French territories around the world too. So they fly a lot of places in Asia. Pretty crazy about Air France. Hey, King Cobra, good to have you here. Transylvania is also owned by Air France. Didn't know about that. They used to have Paris-only base, but the authorities gave Air France slots early for fueling. Another French airline flies to the U.S. Which one? There. IMSEP? So the fleet for Air France is quite a big one. They include their fleet. They have 211 planes total in their fleet currently, including the A220, which is the narrowliners. The Air France is currently the largest airliner operator of the A380, but it's going to be retired by the A220, and so is the Airbus A319. Those two are going to get replaced by the 220-300 models. Then there's the A320-200 model, which is technically we're currently flying right now, is the 200 model. Then they operated quite a few Airbus 321s. Then there's the A330, and then they're going to get 38, including 22 ordered for the A350, which basically the A350 is the Airbus's answer to the 787. And then they also have 10 of the 787 Dreamliners from Boeing. And then they also have their own cargo fleet, including the freighter version of the A350, with 4 of them coming this way. It was formerly called French Blue, but the FAA asked to change the name for passengers and controls confusion for JetBlue. Yep, JetBlue is another of the American airlines. I can definitely see the confusion between French Blue and JetBlue. I can definitely understand. They both have blue. But they got quite a lot of planes from Air France's fleet historically. They've flown a lot of historical planes. They flew Douglas DC-6, which is PDG. They've flown DC-3s. They flew all sorts of different Boeing models. They used to have the 747 in their fleets, the Constellation, and of course, I think one of the most famous planes Air France has ever flown, but the Concorde. The Concorde is a legendary plane. I mean, it's a supersonic airliner. It took them over the program costed them in 1962 for 70 million British pounds. In our timeline's over $1 billion. Air France and British Airways were really the only two operators of it. So that makes it quite a very unique plane for them to have in their fleet. But the thing that made this Concorde great was translator flights have never been easier, though. Because you can get to New York and London in just 2 or 3 hours on the Concorde. Whereas in a normal plane, it'll take around 6 or 7 hours. And trust me, I've done one of those transatlantic flights earlier in the week. So I can probably testament how long they can be. And yes, they did fly 737s too. They did. They did flew 737. They flew the 200, 300, and 500 model Boeings. But they were replaced by the Airbuses. As well. There's flocks. So we're flying over Deutschland now. So I was just showing off guys earlier about SimBrief. Very helpful program. So we are around how many nautical miles are we for making the airport? We're 688 nautical miles. So we don't have that much bad. You gotta bail out. The dogs are needing out. Have a great stream. Thank you so much, Flocks, for coming by today. Thanks for coming by today, Flocks. Hey, take care of the dog, and I hope to see this guy soon. I hope you have your stream later tonight, Flocks. I might check it out. But yeah, today's beautiful today. What a great day for flying. I'm going to increase the throttle to 270. So, so the other things I figured out about Air France, I was looking to research. So Air France does it for the first class is their first class menu, their in-flight catering, and it's actually designed by a chef, Guy Martin, the chef of Le Grand VipAir, a three-star restaurant in Paris. And they often do appetizer, entrees, bread basket, and cheeses. In longer flights, Air France serves complimentary champagne and drinks to passengers. They do in-flight entertainment, like from audio, video on demand. They also have lounges known as Le Salon, and then their frequent flyer program known as the Flying Blue. So I'm just looking over their website. English. All right. So some information about it. The latest addition to the fleet, the A220. A220-200, which is so they got pictures of each of their fleet. So their 787 Dreamliner, for example, they do it's like a business class. So looking at their airport, you have a personalized cabin in business class. Gives you comfort and well-being throughout the flight. In business class also includes a full flat bed, direct aisle access to each passenger in a multi-purpose area, which includes like a desk, table, bed with full privacy. They have dining services, a full bed. It's got like mobile charging station, Wi-Fi. It's even got working space and more. So this is business class in the 787. Pretty cool stuff, if you ask me. I'm gonna go to the restroom, guys, for a sec. So I'm just gonna leave the music playing now. I'll let you guys see the exterior, if you guys don't mind. I'm back. Oh, I forgot to turn off the privacy lights. Turn lights. Good to have. Okay, I'm back. So, back in control. So we just flew over Hanover quite a bit, a little bit over Hanover. I think I see Paddleborn Airport from Aerosoft. This was actually one of their first free airports. And to our left, to northwest, is actually another handcrafted airport. This is Castle Calden Airport. And we'll be making our way down near the Rhine River. Which server am I on? Here it is, IMSEP. I'm sorry guys if I be a little quiet. It's just try and enjoy this flight. Just try and enjoy this relaxing flight. No problem, IMSEP. I'm very happy to let you know. So I still have my Discord. I also have my I have also content in my other platform. So I was reading up about the Airbus A380, how much of a failure it was. So the reason the A380 was it was just too big. For perspective, the A380's wingspan is almost the size of three 737s. In fact, it was so big that it could only land at only at a very selected amount of airports, 140 of them. And many of them had to be renovated just to have gates that were even comparable in size to an A380. It was also a kind of an inefficient plane. For example, it needed 4 engines to fly. And to put it in perspective, the 787, which is what we have in the sim, it burns 5,400 liters. The A380 burns more than twice that per hour. Also, there's rising fuel prices after 9/11, and then Airbus was kind of wrong in the predictions of the future of aviation. Because in the early 2000s, Airbus predicted that it was going to be long-haul airlines like the 747. As the hub and spoke model became more popular on airlines. And finally, COVID-19 really hurt the A320, and many airlines turned to smaller, more efficient planes. That's why the A380 was a bit of a failure. Europe, um, no, it was East USA. No, it's server. Uh, it's East USA. I spelled server wrong. Not sever, it's server. Oh, is that Kahari I see here? It has to be Kahari. In the F-18? It has to be. East USA, okay, no worries. Is that a Kaharia I see back there? Oh, I see you, Kaharia. Guten Tag, Kaharia. I see you. Air France. No, Kaharia, it's great to have you here. Guys, definitely check out Kaharia's channel. Um, she's doing the Spitfire around the world flights. She's been doing those twice a week on Spit in many of the areas around the world, and she provides really good research in a lot of the places, like myself. And apparently she also does lots of Star Wars stuff, which is kind of fitting. Today's May 4th. May the 4th be with you. But definitely check out Kaharia. So Kaharia, we're in the Air France A320 Neo. This is based off similar. We're flying from Stockholm to. We're flying to Marseille in southern France. So we took off from Stockholm. We flew over both Malmo and Copenhagen. We're in Deutschland now. We went near Hanover, and we're gonna basically fly right next to Frankfurt. We might be able to see Frankfurt International down here, which is one of Europe's most busy airports. Especially, it's one of Europe's most important airports too, because that's Lufthansa's main hub. Then we'll fly down to Switzerland. We're gonna hug the Alps. We're gonna hug them, but we definitely should see some pretty nice views, Lake Geneva, Lake Le Mans. Then we'll head our way to Marseille. Be a beautiful flight. I hope things are going well with you, Kaharia. Oh, too bad. The wind's favorable for 13. Too bad. The wind favorable is we're running on runway 13, MSEP, so actually the wind will be favorable to land at runway 13. So I'm actually just fine. The F-18's not my friend. Yeah, the F-18's the only thing that could actually keep up with this Boeing. Yep, no worries, MSEP. You're probably right. I'm gonna go ahead and check the two-tone mercury panel just to make sure. LFML. Enter. Accept. Load. Marseille Providence Airport. 74 feet. Here's the province. Let's look at the weather information. Weather. 108 degrees at 8 knots. Clear skies and undefined at ground level. 19 degrees Celsius or 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, it looks good. The wind's 108 degrees. Okay, look, it looks good. Okay, I found charts on um. Okay, found some charts about Marseille Airport. Hmm. Departures. Look at these charts. Okay. There she is. I believe there's. Now, mind you, if you go on North Europe or West Europe, Frankfurt's going to be loaded with traffic if I ever did decide to go there for some strange reason. So there's Frankfurt down below. There's Frankfurt International. One of the most. I visited her during my flight in Germany. It's the busiest airport in Germany by traffic, and the fourth busiest in the European continent itself, and it's used by Lufthansa, and they fly all around the world. Like, Lufthansa's flown, not only Lufthansa, but Condor flies here too, which is a charter airline too. But basically, Lufthansa flies all sorts, from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to Atlanta, all the way to Tel Aviv, Tokyo, Toronto. They flew everywhere. Hey, Airlock Doc, good to have you here, Airlock. When it says the internet is a series 2, did they not mean put tubes on the internet? Eh, pretty funny. I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's a pretty banner on the wall. It is Airlock. So, the story of this, I didn't win the contest, unlike Aharia, but Murph gave it to me for free because I worked on the notes for the Brown flight. So I worked on all the notes, which included not only the places we visited, but I talked about the people who were actually flew it. I talked about the airports, the countries we visited, the cities. I did that to kind of give you a background of each place we're flying for that Bremen flight. So I got that for free, but that's not the only thing I put up on the wall. You guys can't see it, but this way, to my right, is actually a US VFR sectional map. It's actually on my Discord. Any of you all are on my Discord, it's in the general chat. I posted that up the wall. It is a US VFR sectional chart for this year, 2022. So, I put that on the wall yesterday. Yep, I helped out. Currently, we're heading to Marseille airlock, flying the Air France KLM A320neo. We have around 440 miles to go. At some point, I should descend to 29,000 feet. Not now, but a little later, descend to. Oh, my Discord. Here's my Discord. Here's my Discord IMSEP. Right here. Click the link. It'll take you to my arrivals page. And so I start here, and then you're riding on my Discord. I'll give you a role as a Sidewinder, which, I mean, is a snake theme. And you have all access to my entire Discord. Pretty cool stuff. I usually do this to keep up my streams. Marseille is a fabulous city. It is. I actually visited during an Alpines fight my stream, but Marseille's beautiful. It's a great seasonal place to visit. It is lovely. And actually, Goblin Zeus is from around here too, from around the area. But yeah, I'm excited to actually visit Marseille again. I actually landed at this airport in the Robin, but it'd be really cool to actually try to land an airliner there. So this will be fun. Earlier, I talked a bit about Air France, Stockholm Airport, Copenhagen, Malmo. Just talked about some of the areas we're flying over. Basically, for you guys who don't know, Marseille is the oldest city in France, founded in 600 BC. It is the second most populous city in France, behind Paris. It's featured. It's been a trading port since ancient times, but experienced a boom in the 19th century. The heart of the city is still the old port, and is where soap was manufactured. The Savon de Marseille soap was made 6 centuries ago. There's also the Basilica of Notre Dame de la Garde as well. This city's rich in culture, and it's just a beautiful place. Like I said, I'm glad this place got a photogrammetry, because I'm definitely could take a photogrammetry tour of this place, definitely. So, and that's why I picked this flight too, because it's a nice scenic flight to get out of the cold Scandinavia and into beautiful Marseille. Oh yeah, Olympique de Marseille, very famous soccer team. Yeah, especially in France. Olympique de Marseille, very, very famous. Very famous team. They spent as a top tier of football. They won 10 official league titles, 9 in League One, as one of the best teams in France. In fact, Marseille's 9 championships are only second to Paris Saint-Germain and Saint Etienne, with those guys having 10 championships. Though to be fair, Paris Saint-Germain had only won championships in the recent seasons of the last decade or so. I mean, Paris Saint-Germain dominated since 2012, winning championships 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 16. Then took a break from 16-17 to win a championship in 2017-18, 2018-19, 2020. Took a break off and won 21-22. Yeah, PSG. Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain FC. And again, what's great is, though, for my city tours, I'm going to be visiting a lot of really cool photogrammetry cities. Might have to find a way. I wonder how am I going to fly all the way around from Paris? Hmm. Oh, actually, here's something I've been planning on doing. I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. Here would be a really cool flight. I've been thinking about. Condor does an airline. They do a really interesting airline flight from Frankfurt. They actually fly all the way to Whitehorse in Canada, which is the longest flight from Germany. And that's where the German airlines do some of their seasonal flights, all the way from Germany to Whitehorse, which is literally in the Yukon. They had to fly through the Arctic. It's a weird transatlantic flight. Like I learned for a bit, doggo needs attention. No worries, airlock. I understand. Take care of the dogs. Dogs definitely need your attention. That's for sure. There you are, Kahari. I see you. No coincidence. But yeah, it's a weird transatlantic route from basically they fly from Frankfurt, they fly over Greenland in the entire Arctic until land in Whitehorse. And they fly from May to October. And apparently that route has been operating for 2 decades. It may seem weird, but it actually they flew there for, but they often fly to a lot of places in the United States. Yeah, Condor Airlines. Yep, that's correct. Condor. Condor has been around since the 1950s. December 1st, 1955 was founded and first operated in 1956. And they usually do the medium haul flights to the Mediterranean and the Canary Islands, and then they also fly in Africa, Asia, North America, South America, and the Caribbean. They're the other major airliner that operates out of Frankfurt. They're one of the other ones. Mainly they fly almost all Airbuses, mainly the A320s and A330s. They're usually flying those. Yeah, it's a real airline. I actually knew about this because this was actually an achievement on the Flight Sim FS Hub IO. Is one of the achievements. At first, I didn't think anyone would actually fly away from Europe to Canada, but it turns out I didn't think they would fly it that into the Yukon. Seemed weird. But apparently the route itself is around 3,932 nautical miles. Which, if you're going at 500 knots, let's say in a Boeing 778, which can go around 500 knots if you put max, that would take you around maybe 9 hours to get there. 9 to 10 hours maybe to get there, which is pretty crazy to get there. I mean, it's just crazy. Just now we're just only now we're only 300 nearly 350 miles out. We're heading towards Ulben. We're gonna head to Bern and I believe it's Bern in Switzerland. It's just beautiful out here today. Just beautiful sights here too. Oh, there's IMSEP. There you are in the CRJ. I see it down there. I need to try out my software setup since I haven't corrected the default settings. No worries. Yeah, definitely try it out your setup. Make sure it's working properly. So, let's see where we're at now. We're getting near to Bern. We're gonna go see some of the beautiful alpine lakes here in 30, 38,000 feet. This is. I enjoy this relaxing flight. You know, it's nice to actually go somewhere nice and relaxing for a bit. Mm. So yeah, I'm definitely getting that 7.3 on Friday. If it says it's gonna come out Friday, I'm getting my hands on that 7.3. I mean, I need it. It's a plane I desperately really need it. Mhm. So, yeah, I set this up to live weather too. I mean, I'm trying to make these airliner stuff a bit more realistic. Maybe once we get to PAS, that one, I'll start trying to make the descent to 29,000 feet. Yeah, only 275 more miles, guys. Yeah, you don't like the F-18. I understand. Yeah, I think the F-18's not that great. I think you'd be better off maybe in a business jet or something. Maybe taking the citation longitude would be good. Like I said, you can take the business jets. Oh, look at this, guys. Look to our left. We could see, we could actually, I totally bugging the instruments I have. Sorry about that, car. Guys, look at this to our left. We see the Alps. Oh, this is nice. We got to see the actual Alps. That's a really nice view. La Montanera. Yep. Man, we got some beautiful lakes down here, the Alpine Lakes. Switzerland definitely is lots of. Never like flying over Switzerland. I like flying up between the mountains. That's where you get some of the best flying. Is between the mountain ranges. With the Ani June between Switzerland mountains. Yeah, that's some amazing flying. I know in real life, Kaharian, they in the 30s they did a flight from Berlin to Rome, which took about 8 hours. But they had to actually fly over the Alps. I mean, that must be quite the sight. To fly over that, that's for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and descend to 29,000 feet. Once we get past this checkpoint, we can start to descend. 20,000. Now here we're going to fly over Lac Le Mans in Geneva. So a bit about Geneva, Switzerland. It is actually the second most populous city in Switzerland after Zurich. It is actually in the most populous city of Romandie. This is the French-speaking part of Switzerland. Yes, Switzerland has 4 national languages: Italian, German, French, and its own Romanish language. Geneva has a population of 201,818 people. It is a global city, a financial center, and worldwide center for diplomacy due to the presence of many international organizations, mainly that being the HQ many agencies of the United Nations and the Red Cross. Geneva hosts the highest number of international organizations on the planet. It's also where the well-known Geneva Conventions were signed, which chiefly concerned the treatment of wartime non-combatants and prisoners of war. It is the world's 9th most important financial center for competitiveness in 2021 and 5th in Europe. It's also one of the most livable cities on the planet, together with Zurich and Basel. And it's a pretty compact metropolis. It's also a pretty expensive city to live. We're going to go ahead and start descending. 29,000 feet. So Geneva was actually known, believe it or not, it was actually built since the Roman times, turns out. It was a port for the Alloborges Gaelic people. And when it was taken by the Romans in 121 BC, it became Christian under the late Roman Empire and acquired its first bishop in the 5th century. In the Middle Ages, Geneva was ruled by a count under the Holy Roman Empire until the late 14th century. And in the 15th century, it formed the Grand Council of Geneva, which is one of the cantons of Switzerland. Geneva was admitted to the Swiss Confederation on June 1st, 1814. And during the 19th and 20th centuries, it flourished into one of the world's great cities, especially in Europe. Oh yeah, Switch. I'm almost there. Where are you at? In the planes released. Oh, the 310? Oh, I'm actually over Lima Sierra Golf Papa, where it's our closest airport. Actually, if you want an international airport, it's Geneva International, Lima Sierra Golf. We're about to fly over Geneva. Oh yeah, Switzerland is known for music. Yes, Switzerland. Music is kind of a big deal culturally, because it has a long, distinct cultural identity despite the diversity. But yeah, a lot of its instruments, like the accordion, the brass, the Alp horn, which is the Alpine horn, the hammer dulcimer, the fief, which is a hurdy-gurdy, castanets, rebec, bagpipe, cittern, and shawm. Yeah, Switzerland definitely has some pretty unique musical traditions. Oh, they just released the Oh, it's cost $40. That's actually, I believe that's the same as the. Okay, we're now 29,000 feet. We're now getting into the clouds. So we're now getting into the cloud cover a bit. I'm talking about the hang, which is from Burn. Oh, Burn, the hang. Oh, the hang instrument. Oh, the hand pan. It's called a hand pan. They're part of the idiophone class of instruments, created by Felix Rohner and Sabina Scher in Bern, Switzerland. Ah, it's constructed from two half shells of a deeply drawn nitrided steel sheet, glued together to the rim, leaving an inside hollow and creating the shape of a convex lens. Ah, that's a pretty interesting instrument. Actually, no, the hang is actually a newer instrument. It was developed in 2000. But the handpan is one of the oldest instruments. Hey, what's up, Joey Bolo? Good to have you here. Good to have you, Joey Bolo. I'm doing quite well. I'm nearly to Marseille now. So this is the hang. Playing that right now. Here we go. So that's the hang. It's an instrument. It's a hand pan, basically. But it's beautiful out here today, and we can definitely look into the right. We're 168 nautical miles out, and we can see the Alps, the Swiss Alps, and I believe we're not far from Courchevel. I know everyone's trying to attempt landing in the mountains, but I don't think we should land in the mountains of Courchevel. That's not a very safe thing to do in an Airbus. That thing has only got 1,700 nautical miles of runway. I'm not attempting to land there. You're not getting me to try to do that. If you'll make me land in the PC-6 or a PC-6, I will be okay if it's a PC-6 operating there. No issues. A small bush plane, I don't have any issues. A Twin Otter has no problem. I just don't trust an Airbus A320. be in your state next week flying to Los Angeles, says IMSEP. Ah, cool. Los Angeles International, LAX. Yeah, LAX is a pretty big airport in the United States. They fly all around the world. So, a bit of a background about our airport we're visiting today, Marseille, Provence Airport. This airport was actually opened back in the 1920s. It was managed since 1934 by the Marseille Provence Chamber of Commerce. It was one of the main airports for flying boats back in the 20s and 30s. It even served as a terminal for the Pan American World Airways, or PAM, Clipper flying boats. It's currently a focus city for Air France, but also for the Irish ultra low-cost carrier of Ryanair, which has gotten a bit of an infamous reputation, if you ask me. But Ryanair flies from all over. They fly places all over Europe. For example, Air France usually flies here to Charles de Gaulle or Orly Airport, while they fly seasonal flights to Algiers, Amsterdam, Athens, Beirut, Biarritz, Corfu, Herculaneum, and Santorini, while Ryanair flies all over the place. Spain, Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany. They fly all over Europe. They even fly into Israel, too. Just stunning. Hey, Imsep, I'm sure I'll drop them in the Discord. Yeah, no worries. Oh, definitely, Imsep. I would love to see your pics in the Discord. You can post them under general chat. Definitely post them in the... Definitely post them. I would love to see them.
You've enriched so many...
Oh, the airlock drop for $40. I was expecting to be more airlock. I was expecting these 310 to be more. I mean, I definitely am interested in it. I think I'm more interested in flying that than the 414. For certain. But the Milvus plane I'm interested, though, is the Beaver. I mean, I'm a bush pilot. Yeah, so was I, as well. Ryanair also flies to Morocco, too. Hey, Scruffy Tam! Actually, let me get two more shout-outs. First to Airlock Doc. He currently flies on his own channel, too. He's been doing quite a bit of his streaming. I think he's been doing his tour of Japan. So definitely check him out. A very entertaining guy. And finally, my good friend Scruffy Tam. What a very supportive guy. Scruffy Tam is a class act. Very supportive. He has a fantastic community. And everyone feels welcome in Scruffy Tam streams. I mean, Scruffy Tam is pretty amazing. So definitely check out Scruffy Tam. So we're making an arrival to we're actually making we're on arrival to Marseille Airport. Which runway? We're gonna land on 13 right. Instead, we're gonna land at 13 right, which is going to be our landing. It's an ILS landing. Thankfully, I've learned from my experience from the first airline flight, so I've done plenty of landings now. But I mean, Murph's liked it. Two Cats really likes it. Fabio really likes it. I think it's a good plane, and I hope it's good. I'm just trying to wait for a bit, because I think for my money, I'm waiting for the 7.3. I'm a Boeing guy. 7.3 would be what I want to purchase first. Because I think I'll get more use out of the 7.3 than I do with the DC6. Okay. Once we cross here, we'll be heading to 22,000 feet. But it's beautiful out here. We're flying near the Alps. So, no, I agree. $40 is not a bad price, especially for how Milviz does it. That's not a bad price. All right. Let's go ahead and descend. We're going to descend. I really appreciate it here. Thank you guys so much for coming here today. This has been the longest airline flight I've done so far. Actually, on stream at least, this has been the longest of the two. I got VipAir straight off. I see Ricky James. And I see IMSEP. Yeah, this is a stunning plane. I really like it. The longest flight down in the airliner, obviously, is the France to Seattle flight. That took me around 10 hours. Though, for my longest semi-realistic airline flight, that was Boston to, it was Boston to Paris, which is 8 or so hours. At some point, I want to do a transatlantic flight on stream as well. But my main purpose, though, is once Merc shows the new BA, Firefly Air, today, I'm hoping next Wednesday stream, I think I may shift towards the virtual airline stuff. I think it'd be great to have a content creator that does some virtual airline stuff. And I'll be doing all my flights based on what Murph streams do. So, for example, if Murph feels like flying in France or something, I may do a route that goes to either to the airport we go to fly to connect the stream and support. I think that would be really cool for the content of my channel for the future. And I think it would be great. I'm going to increase my speed to 280 knots. Oh, whoops. 280. You landed the Kodiak minus 77. Oh, that's a smooth landing. That's smooth. I hope you got stopped, though. Here's sometimes the thing about smooth landings. Sometimes smooth landings aren't always the best landings. But it's still good, though, to land smoothly, not to damage your thing. But sometimes, if you land too smooth, it causes its own issues, so it just really depends. So yeah, let me guys show you, since you guys just came here, let me show you the map. Today's route, we took off here from all the way in Sweden. We took off at Stockholm's Arlanda Airport, which has been a handcrafted airport since the Nordic World updates. Took the departure, flew through Malmo. We got to see a bit of Copenhagen from 38,000 feet. Flew through most of Germany from the northeast to southwest. We're in Switzerland, and now we're back into France. And we're going to take a ILS approach to 13 right. We're nearly on arrival now. So this should be a fantastic airline flight. I'm just doing this as I'm hopefully shifting to the VA stuff. Maybe I get a third stream day on Friday do Friday 1200 on 1600 Zoom or something like that, and do the virtual airline flights. I think it'd be great for the channel. And I think it would be great. I think it would be great for the channel to have an airliner flight. Doing airliner stuff for the virtual airline. I think that would be great for the channel. And that would be something more relaxing, and I don't have to do all the research at once, if you know what I mean. Because I also have some other projects I gotta work on too, so... Yeah, it's nice to see him in airliner too. I'm still GA, mind you. I'm still very much GA more than airliner. But I think an airliner is a good fit for me too. I used to be so much against airliners, but seeing Fabio with that 737 and doing those airliner flights, I think it awakened my excitement for the airliner stuff, and I think it's a good thing too. And while I do like GA still, it gave me a lot more respect for the airliners. Okay. 19,000 feet. Let's descend. Descend to 19,000. And then after 19,000, once we reach 19,000 here, we're gonna, I'm gonna descend all the way to 4,000 feet. And let's see if we can get to that ILS approach, and we can turn on approach mode, and land at in 13 right. But yeah, if you guys never been to Marseille in the sim, it is a very nice city. The photogrammetry in Marseille is absolutely beautiful. Hopefully, if I manage to land safely at Marseille, I'll probably let's see, land here, go to the Suez taxiway, and probably find one of the gates and land there. Just find a good parking spot and somewhere by the gate, and then that will be the flight. My showcase is right above 13 right. Got it. Okay. But yeah, the weather's looking great. I appreciate you guys in the chat, I really do. Okay. That's it, 208 knots. Gonna go ahead and select 4,000 feet. Yeah, I think this airliner stuff could stay, actually. Especially when I get the 737 on Friday. I may do that for the 737 flight. Maybe connect it with the virtual airline. Let's go ahead. 4,000. Okay, we're now past that. Now I can start descending. Let's descend to 4,000. I hope we're gonna raid Murph after this, so I hope you guys stay, because I want to get as many people to raid Murph as we can. So after this, on Sunday, we'll continue the city tour series. We're gonna visit Louisville, Kentucky, one of my home cities. Technically, it's my closest major city. So we'll be visiting the Louisville area, and this is an area I know quite well, as I visited Louisville at least a couple hundred, if not 1,000 times, visit the city of Louisville. So I definitely very well aware of the area. The only jet I've flown is the CJ4. 8% managed to land, the rest I crashed badly. I understand this was what I had struggled for the first time when I got into the jets. I kind of struggled with that for the first time when I tried to land the jets. So it took me a while to start improving myself for the landings. I'm actually going to go ahead and deploy, let's see. Slightly deploy the air brakes a little bit. I wanted to send a little quicker. So then I can lower the speed to get... I'm not going to reduce my speed too much. Yeah, don't reduce your speed too much. Try to keep, like I said, keep your throttle at a decent speed, like a decent airspeed. Like, yeah, try to learn touch and go. Yeah. It's the FMC. I can definitely tell. Yeah, we got quite a few really cool people in the chat as well. I really appreciate all you guys here. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't followed yet, don't be afraid to follow the channel. I do have a Discord, and I do have other content as well. So let's see, 10,000 feet. Okay, I'm gonna lower the speed to 245 knots because we're under 10,000 feet, and we can't go much faster. We really can't because, you know, airspace restrictions. I think, guys, this would be a good time. If you haven't, let's do some landing predictions, guys. So, pick in the chat, command predict, and then do your landing number prediction. Do exclamation point predict, then space, negative number, negative sign, and then go with the negative number. Turn off ABF flight level descent point. Yeah, that might be a good idea too. So it looks like we're getting near Avion. There's Avion down over here. We're going to be flying over that. And I'm going to go ahead and disable the speed brake. Oh. Okay, it stuttered there for a sec. I was hoping not to crash. I'm a prop guy, GA all the way. Love my DC-6. I could actually do a DC-6 flight if I really wanted to. And actually, I could. Like, I'm going to have to learn how to start the thing manually at some point. Maybe TC can help me out with that one. So Avignon, I believe, is actually in southeast France. It's the Vaucluse department of the Provence region. It's the 14th largest urban unit in the city. Between 1309 and 1377, 7 successive popes in Rome resided here. And in 1348, Pope Clement IV brought the town to from Johanna I of Naples. So the Pope actually controlled here until 1791 during the French Revolution, when it became part of France. The historic center, which includes the Palais des Papes, the Avignon Cathedral, and the Pont d'Avignon, became a World Heritage Site in 1995 because of its architecture. It's also known for the Festival d'Avignon, one of the world's largest festivals for the performing arts. Make this quite a bit of a tourist place too. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the landing lights. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the landing lights. probably be a good idea. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start lowering the speed a little bit. Let's go to 200 and... let's go ahead and go into 200 knots. And once we get to that, 200... idle... Let's pull the first stage of flaps. Let's do that. Prepare the first stage of flaps. Flaps are down. Once we reach the zebra point, I will turn on the localizer and prepare for approach mode. We'll get ready to land. Okay, 200 knots is good. I'm going to start lowering again. Let's lower this down to... let's lower again to 175. Let's go ahead and do that. I just want to get my landing and all that set up. So that way, okay. Second stage of flaps. I'm going to keep it to the speed until a little later. So let's look from the exterior view. So it's covered by the clouds. But definitely a very beautiful Air France livery. I want to thank you guys in the chat so much, especially the second half of the stream, for sticking with me. But yeah, I really want to do more of these airliner flights. I think I'm very much interested. I'm not gonna be a full-time airliner flight guy. I mean, I'm still GA though. That's not changing though. I still enjoy my GA stuff, landing the small strips. Those are all, but I'll fit in an airliner flight or two if I need to. Okay. Let's go ahead and decrease the speed even further. Let's go down to 160 knots. So let's go to 160. Decrease speed. Let's pull up another stage of flaps. So now we're at 160 knots as well. I want to see if we can, and actually, I also got to do one more thing. While we're here, deploy the landing gear. We're going to go ahead and deploy. While we're down. Everything looks good. Yeah, for the title of my stream's pretty cool, actually. I name it VipAir. That's because, that is actually, it's actually someone gave me that name. Hey, friends, all good to see you. Yeah, it's actually its unique Air France livery. This is what it looks like, friend all. Air France A320. There is an MSEP. So once we get to Zebra, turn left, put on the localizer, prepare for approach mode. Eventually, I'm I'll turn off the autopilot and see if I can. I hope I can land this all right. Full flaps. So there it is, full flaps. You got this. Yep, this should be good. Okay, we're about to turn on Zebra, and we're about to make our way into Final. This is very exciting. Man, this is pretty fun. Pretty fun flight we got here. That's why for these airliner flights also too, I prefer to set on live weather since this is instrument approach. I guess that's going to be a rule for my flights. If I'm doing the bush flights and city tours, I set it to clear conditions or VFR ready conditions since we're flying in the urban and I want to see things. Okay, we're about to turn. Let's pick up the final afterwards. So guys, I hope you guys made your predictions yet for the landing. Don't be afraid to do so. We're about to make our final descent. I still need to do VATS and stuff at some point. I probably need to do the routes first, then do the airliner stuff. Hopefully maybe I can be in one of the VATSIM events. I think what would be really cool is if I did a VATSIM event, maybe do a VATSIM event with maybe do the Cross the Pond event. If they ever do another one of these, I may do a flight. There's our airport. Right there, guys. We turn left. Once we do that, left. I'm gonna turn on the localizer. I think it might be a good time to turn on the localizer. Let's see. Ah, localizer's on. And I'll prepare for approach mode with our localizer. So there we go. So approach mode will activate soon. But yeah, we're getting to some absolutely beautiful area. This is going to be a very interesting approach. And the plane's starting to descend a little bit. Just checking. It's going to make the descent here to 13, right? Here's 13 right. There's the run we were laying on. This is 13 right. This is the much longer 13 left. right here. So we're now ready to make our trip to Marseille. Hopefully when I get down to Marseille, hopefully get to visit. We'll probably visit some of the national parks in the chateau. Aside from twisting the knobs and plane, is the autopilot flying the plane? Yes. Marseille has some good stuff to eat as well. Definitely. Same thing too. Its most famous dish, though, is bouillabaisse, which is the most famous seafood dish, containing all sorts of variety of fish. Aioli. And of course, there's been a lot of films filmed here. Monte Cristo in '29. The French Connection in 1971. Cruising at flight level 6. Now, once I get close to the airport, I'll take over the controls. So that way, I can still have some manual control over the plane, but I'm letting the autopilot take control of it to get me lined up for the approach. Okay. Autopilot is off. I'm going to control the throttle. And I'm actually going to turn off the auto throttle for a bit. Try and land this plane normally. Let's see.
100. 660, 50, 440, 30, 20. Retard.
A little on the roughs. Whoops, that was a bit rough. That was a bit of a rough side. I apologize. But at least I still made it on the runway. Yeah, that was butter, baby. Not a good landing. But unlike the 747 landing, it was still better than that one, I gotta say. Even you all can agree to that one. Uh, 619, not a good landing. I didn't want to land in third person because technically that would be kind of cheating if you ask me. So let me go ahead and get... See you in two-tone stream. Nope. Take care, Double Dude. We're actually going to raid here soon. Let's get to the gate and park it. And I'll get everything off. But hey, at least we landed here safely. That's at least the best thing, guys. If you can definitely agree with me on this one, we landed here safely. Still need to have some. There still needs to be some improvement in the landing, but I mean, it'll get there for more time. Practice is the best thing to do. Ah, I see a parking spot, guys. Let's go ahead and do this. Yep. Final. And let's put her right here. Right here. Pretty good. Engine off. And the engine master off. And we could just turn off the batteries. And that's all. And they're off. There we go, guys. Welcome to Marseille Airport, guys. Yeah, the lane was rough. A little on the rough side. Fine. It was a rough landing, but a dangerous landing, but hey, it's still an improvement over the original flights. So on short final, no worries. So welcome to Marseille Airport. So thank you guys so much for coming here today. I know this is a bit of a longer stream than usual, but I had a great time with it, and this has been a great flight. So on Sunday, we'll be doing the Berlin to Beijing flight, which is the not the Berlin. I meant the City Tour series between in Louisville, and then next Wednesday would be with the Firefly Air. Maybe do a flight with them. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go raid Tuto Murphy, my good partner. I want to say thank you everyone so much for coming today. I hope you all stay for the raid, and I hope you guys take care soon. Thank you guys so much. Viper Strike 95 is out. Take care, everyone.